Hey guys, Surdex here, and still went fishing, and I still hooked him. I still have the BermudaKing in the mainlands.
Oh, the hook.
Yep, he's not dying yet. Don't worry. I made
Water. I need water.
Here, splash. Anyways, so yeah, more Bermuda deck profiles with the BermudaKing himself. And right now, if you can't tell from the two cards we have in front of us, he is going to do a deck profile on Prisms.
Prism is unbreakable. That's the JoJo reference, by the way.
Alright, so BermudaKing, you can take it away.
Alright. For the grade 3s, we run 4 Emmy. Now,
Just say Emmy.
yeah. I mean, they're pretty much the same person, or they look pretty much the same. Pretty much, this is the best grade 3 have, you know, that actually does something besides the brake ride. Because she combos well with the stride, which I'll talk much later. But she is still the best one because if you're rushed, liver break 4, if you get the liver break 4, call 3 prisms, open rear guard circle, by the way. And she got 10k in a crit, so yeah, your opponent wants to great stall you, enjoy 21-2 crit to the face. She has a second skill, which you're probably never going to use. Each special counterbalance a prism, choose a prism, return to hand. Again, never going to really use that, but it's there. You can also play Garnet, but I kind of keep my deck more offensive push, you know, more of an offensive push than defense. But if I had like an SP Garnet, I would for sure take one out for it. If I had one. And of course, no Prism deck is complete without 4 verts. This is the one you want to ride first if you're not being rushed or, you know, your opponent great stalling you. Because of course it goes with the vert stride, which I'll talk later. But what some people don't realize is that her break rest will happen before stride. So if you have a bunch of grade 3s, which does happen sometimes to me, which, oh god, this game is bad luck. You can just break ride, draw a card, and then stride. Just trade a grade 3 for another card. That might happen sometimes. Alright, grade 2s. Your best friend. Your best friend. She is so good. She is so good. Vanguard, rear guard. When she hits a Vanguard, counterblast one prism, shoot one of your rear guard, return a hand, draw a card. She's the reason you're going to great stall your opponent. She's the reason your opponent's going to try and one pass you, and you're going to hope to God you get a crit trigger. Which happened before, and oh, it feels good. It feels good. And you definitely run 4 of her. There's no reason not to run 4 of her. I also run 4 Spica. Because while she's not a prism, she enables so much in the deck. She gives you multi-attack options. She combos well with Olivia. She combos well with a grade 1. She combos well with another grade 1 and a draw trigger. And she's just so good. She's just so good. I see people running Ayan, I think is the name, the other Prism Grade 2 that came out in CBO5. And while she's not terrible, she doesn't call the card down. If she called the card down, she would be gone. Maybe next year we'll get that. And 312k attacker, because there's nothing like calling a 12k while your opponent's at 7k. Oh yeah, 10k guide. Not to mention, she makes 19k columns early. She's a solo attacker. She can make a 22k column via a 7k booster and call her with Spica. She just enables so much in the deck. And trust me, you want cards that act on their own. Alright, grade 1s. Arias. Yes, I know they're expensive. Yes, I know you might want a countercharge in the deck. I know, I get it. But do yourself a favor. Run the Prism. Run the Prism PG. You have no idea how helpful it is to have this name. Not only for Celtic, not only for anything that bounces prisms, but just because of the name. You just want the name and because of your starter, which we'll get to in a sec. And of course, I run 4 late. I don't care what grade 1s you like. I don't care if you want to run Emerald or any other grade 1s. I don't care. I don't care if you want to go reduce your Stride Fodder down. Do not reduce her down less than 4. She is your super best friend. Because not only she's your counter charger, she's your soul charger. Not only does she give you power, but she can enable so many combos in the deck with Spica. You have a Spica here, you attack with a column here, you bounce her, call here, 11k, attack with her. You didn't pay any combat, you got soul, you enable multi-attacks. She is so good and so important. And I run 3 Rupina. She's also so good. When she's returned to hand during the battle phase, GB1, choose one of your other Prism rearguards. Yes, has to be Prism. Return to hand, draw a card. This deck lacked in draw power, and now we have it. She is just so good. Multi-attacking while drawing cards. Yes, please. Oh, also forgot to mention. Don't try not to bounce late in the main phase, because then you can't call her down again. Just keep that in mind, unless you call by effects. Last grade 1 is 3 Shandi, because I like to stride in the deck, and if you're not striding, you're not winning. Also, you want to save your grade 3s for Vert. Trigger lineup is 4 clear. 8 crit, 4 of them clear. When she's returned to hand, Canvas 1, put it back to your deck, search your deck for a grade 1 or greater Vert, Clear, or Rosa, and call it to rearguard, and you can bounce that card back to your hand. But the thing is, she enables more multi-attacks, and because of your starter, you can bounce it back later. She is so important, and not to mention, we only have 2 Prism crits. Bushy, can we get another one, please? Maybe? Thank you.
They didn't release one in the new clan booster?
No, they gave us this instead. An effect draw trigger, which kind of surprised me because you don't really see these for subclans. Or hell, you don't even see these for like regular decks, like G-Break decks. Pretty much GB1, when she'd returned to hand, Soul Blast 1, shoot one of your other Prism rearguards, and at the end of the battle that attacked or boosted, return to your hand. Doesn't seem that important, but trust me, when you want to call down cards to beat face, you can return it to hand. And remember, has to be Prism. Also, the grade 1 Rupina has to be a Prism too. See, you need the Prism name. And 4 Prism Heals, because why would he not run 4 Prism Heals? And the starter, Titus. Yeah, Titus. Whichever way you want to call it. When she boosts a grade 3 or greater Prism unit, choose one of your rearguard with Prism in its card name, return it to hand. So pretty much, let this turn this around so you guys can see it better. Doesn't really matter. Attack, bounce a Prism, counter blast 1, bounce this, give 4k here or here, whatever, attack. You see, like, she enables many combos, and I could be here for an hour to show you all those combos, but because I don't think Sword actually wants the video to be an hour long, no, I'm not going to do that. But trust me, she actually does something, and she can work when boosting a rear grade 3 as well. So also keep that in mind.
Maybe Titus?
I don't know, they call it titties or whatever.
What's Titus?
Also, because the other starters don't do anything, Sapphire is useless. Koro just doesn't do anything for you. You could run Tizda, but she's just the best one. Although if she gets killed, rip. But if you hit with Princess Celtic, she'll just return to hand anyway. Alright, to the G Zone. For Olivia. She's good. She's good. She can make so many combos with Spica and Lade, which I know other people have done those before, and I'm pretty sure you've seen them. But pretty much, she can enable so many attacks, so many combos, clear your board, give you an extra attack if you didn't already have the extra attack, or give you an extra attack anyway, and crit pressure. She does so much, and there's no reason not to run 4 of her. Unless you're going to play another card, in which case I'll talk about after, why it's not as good as you think. For Labrador, she's free. She enables your bounces. You can call 3 PGs down and bounce them all back to hand, which I had to do, which is why I only played a Prism PG. And yeah, get 2 units 5k, beat Fates, return it to hand, have a big hand size. She is good, and when you're out of Counterblast, she is the best option. Because the deck will run out of Counterblast eventually, especially if we don't see her late. Here's our finisher. Here's our next stage. It came out last year, and when this card got announced, I had never seen the rush of buying a Bermuda deck like I did with Prisms. Everybody wanted a Prism deck when this card came out, and even now this card is still really good. And the reason why you played for her at 4. Yeah, pretty much, at the end about it, she attacks, limit break 4, yes, limit break 4. If you heal all of it, GG. GG, try again next time.
That was fun and happened to you.
Yeah, I was at Regionals the other day, and I fought one of my friends for fun. I'm at 5 damage, he's at 4. Check, heal. I'm like, well, that's game, GG.
We never cheered so hard in our lives.
I died a little bit on the inside, but
We just laughed.
It's gonna happen to you eventually, but it's a risk you just have to take. But if you're at 4 and your opponent's at 5, that's honestly the best time to use her. But yeah, at the end about it, she attacks. If number 4, discard 3 cards, return to G-Zone, call 2 cards, choose a grade 3 from your hand. Come on, where is it? And there we go. Choose a grade 3 from your hand, ride her, and you're getting an extra attack. Also, if you're using on the break ride, you bounce 2 more. So you're cleaning for her limit break 4 skill. And going 26 triple drive to 31 with crit double drive with an extra 2 attacks, you're going to kill your opponent that way. You're definitely going to kill your opponent that way. Still powerful. Run 1 Angie. She is very, very situational, but sometimes you won't be able to bounce your entire field back. So you might get locked or stunned, and sometimes you might need like emergency draw, and that's what she comes for. And if you only opponent have a PG, hi, 61 quad check to your Vanguard. Have fun guarding it. And yeah, I think I got over the skill before in some other videos for Sword Axe, but pretty much Kanbat 2 generic flip, not Persona flip. That's a rated generic flip. Bounce as many rear guards as you have or your opponent. Doesn't matter if they're locked or stunned or whatever, as long as they don't have resist. You return the hand. She gets 5k for each. You return 5, you draw a card. You return 7, you get the quad check. Very situational, but she does come in handy once in a while. Be careful of deck out, and be careful of trying to mitigate her cost with late, because you won't be able to call late down again, unless you superior caller. I've gone to GBA with the deck quite a few times, surprisingly, because everything in the deck flips. So, and you run Spica plus late, so you're powering up even more. And yeah, she's pretty good. GBA, when she at the end of she attacks, discard a card, bounce everything, call everything, and they all get 5k. And G-Guard. 1 Sandy. G-Flip. And for each 2 cards in your hand, 5k shield. If you kind of blast 1, you can get another 5k shield. So it really goes well with what the deck does. I can see people running 2 of these, but I don't know. I like 1. 1 Leona. She's funny in the deck because when you use her skill, you bounce something. You're forced to call a card. You call it to Guardians. You call a card to Guardian Circle if it's the same card name, plus 5k shield. But you use her to bounce late and give your Vanguard an extra 4k. Which, if you're up against like Aqua Force or Gear Chronicle or anything that multi-attacks you for pokes, they ain't gonna have a fun time. 1 Palafy. It's the OTTG guard. If you have 3 or more cards in hand, plus 5k shield. and 1 Citron. When you call a card down, she gets 10k shield. Nothing in the deck really does something when you call down, but it's a free 10k shield pretty much. And the card I was talking about that people run maybe at 4 or 2 and not Olivia, it's Kaname. See, the problem with this card is that, yes, you can use it at the first stride to get 5 attacks, but you have to bounce more than 2 to really get her skill. She only bounces 2, while Olivia bounces as many as you want. Of course, with different card names. But the problem with Kaname is that later on in the game, if you don't use her at the first stride, which sometimes you're not going to because you're going to commit a field to it. Remember, you don't want to commit too much of a field all the time with this deck. But with her, she only bounces 2, and she lets you call 1 for each 2 cards in the Guardian Circle. If you call 3, I just said Guardian Circle, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
In the G zone, you call for each one G zone, you call 2 down. So pretty much GB2 or higher, you're calling down more than 2. If you call 3, she gets a crit. She's pretty much an alternative Olivia, but she needs cards to function. She needs the starter to bounce something. That's not the starter. She needs the starter to bounce something, and then have that card bounce something else to trigger. But if they kill your starter, she becomes practically useless. Or you call on top of your cards, which you're just minusing yourself and leaving your field open to retire, control, and all that jazz. So while I understand why people run her, I personally don't like her, and I think she goes against what the deck wants you to do. The deck wants you to call everything, clear it at the end of the turn, or clear most of it at the end of the turn. She's going to want you to call everything down. She's going to want you to get extra attacks. So while she can be a decent finisher on her own, just go Olivia. With Spica, which also, while she bounces anything, you can only call down prisms. So you're not calling down Spica. She can call down whatever you want. So, honestly, if you want to play Kaname, it's fine. It's definitely a budget option. I think she's like $4 or $5 a copy now. She's not expensive. But really, I prefer not running her and running stuff like Angie and Priscilla.
Alrighty. Ooh.
That was a long one, wasn't it?
Yeah, this one.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's fine. You had your things to talk about, so it's fine. But yeah, that was BermudaKing's Prisms deck profile.
Prism is unbreakable.
Again with the JoJo reference. Yeah, if you want to request any Bermuda deck profiles from BermudaKing himself, you can just leave a comment down below, and then we'll just have to sail the Pacific Ocean again to try to find him. Yep. And yep. If you like what you see, you can like the video. You can subscribe to the channel over here, where I usually put like my icon.
Subscribe, please.
And then you can also check out other videos I have on the channel. There's a few deck profiles, a few match videos, and some box openings. So yeah, yeah. So this has been Sordax. That has been BermudaKing, and we will see you guys in the next video.
Peace.
Bye.